Good evening, ladies and gents. It's Jacob back on the one up top. I did a video yesterday and thought, I didn't think I was going to do one today, but Tottenham have occupied my brain today. I've been looking at a few things on social media, Sky Sports. I've been talking to a few friends of mine over the course of the day. I've been thinking to myself, now I'm going to get another video out because yesterday was just a reactionary. Tottenham don't really play on a Monday night, do we? So it's one of those where I thought, yeah, I'm going to have a little think. I still got a grin on my face because I find it funny, but I think my approach to the Tottenham situation is to be a bit more articulated and a bit more thoughtful. So it's not really to talk about the game yesterday. Like, the game speaks for itself. It's just what Tottenham have been doing for the whole season. Not even for the whole season. I'd go as far as saying that Tottenham have been playing that way for the last 3 years. It's got to the point where I've watched Tottenham in the Champions League this season and fell asleep. Tottenham have played Premier League games and my son's had to come and, remind me that we're about to kick off. There's times where I've been in the gym and, Tottenham's kicked off and I'm 15 minutes late. I'm not even bothered. Do you know what I mean? It's sad times, really, because while I'm doing that, there's a lot of friends that I've got that are supporting other teams, and whether they're an elite club or a team that are, regarded as a smaller club than Spurs, are enjoying their football. They're enjoying it, so I don't know any Brighton fans, but I'm sure Brighton fans are, they're in their element right now. Realistically, I'm looking at the league and thinking Brighton are a great shout to finish above us. I was looking at the league and Aston Villa, I think they're like 9 points or 8 points behind us with a game in hand. So if they go and win tonight against Leicester, what are we saying? Villa going to finish above us? This is what it's become to, man. No disrespect to Aston Villa, because in my eyes, they're a club as big as us. If there's going to be a bigger one, it's probably Aston Villa, for the sheer fact that they've won they've won the big gong. They've won the European trophy. They've got a massive supporting in the Midlands and nationwide. So I wouldn't go as far as saying Tottenham are bigger than Aston Villa. It just depends on what metric. If you're talking about commercially, maybe Tottenham. If you're talking about fan base, probably about the same. If you're talking about trophies, ain't us. We all know that we can't compete with too many people when it comes to trophies. So, going back to Spurs, yesterday's performance was absolutely atrocious. Normally, when once I've had a day to figure it, think about it, I can always think of one slight positive. There weren't even one yesterday. Harry Kane scored for us, obviously, but the theatrics. I kind of sit on the fence with that, because on one side I look at it and think, Harry Kane's about the same size as me. If you're not practicing that in training, your natural reaction is to smack him back. Do you know what I mean? If Decore did that to me in my face, I am smacking you back. But these players are all falling on the floor and all that stuff. So in that respect, I don't respect Harry Kane for doing that. On the flip side, I do respect him because you've got referees that are so bad at this level in the Premier League that you kind of have to do that for them to just pull the red card out straight away. Because if that happened and Harry Kane didn't go to the floor, I doubt he would have even gone to VAR. They would have been like, oh, he's got away with that one. And then, Decore would have took action later and probably got banned later on in the season, let's say. But we needed him sent it off there and then. So, there was no positives. When I look at every single player, I think to myself, not one of you, I can sit there and go, well, at least you gave it a go. Maybe, and I say this with an absolute slight, was Skippy. Now, I'm not going to sit there and say Oliver Skipp played well. I just think I felt sorry for him because he's never a 10 out of 10, is he? He's always a 6 or a 7 out of 10. He's like a Gary Neville of centre midfield. Not even Gary Neville, because Gary Neville was actually a good fullback. He was always a 6 or 7 out of 10, regardless, Skippy. So, but when he's doing his job and everyone around him is doing a 3 and a 4, he's just going to look, it's going to be really hard for him to perform, Everybody was bad. Everybody. There's no positive. Like, Lloris come back and I thought, like, legit, Fraser Forster's better than you, because Fraser Forster's better with his feet. He's better in presence. I generally go as far as saying I feel that the defenders feel a bit more confident with Fraser Forster just because he commands his box without anyone feeling nervous. Like when Lloris has got the ball at his feet, yeah, I'll go as far as saying he gives me as much nerves as if my mum was in goal and I want my mum to boot the ball out of the box. That's how much, or my sister or something. That's how nervous I get because I'm like, how are you play? How do you play football every day and you struggle to like get a ball out your feet and just boot it, man? Don't. What do you do in training? Just keep practicing until you perfect it. You know, Fraser Forster, I love the geezer because he can kick it with his right foot, left foot, and he ain't stupid. If there's someone closing him, he's just gonna boot it. You know, 6'7" of him just goes straight up the pitch. Just keep it simple, man. Lloris, you're trying to be the sweeper keeper that plays Guardiola football, but you're as good as him and Davinson Sanchez are as good as each other on the ball. So there you go. There's not much more to say on the game. I just thought I had to highlight because, you know, it's still fresh in my mind. In terms of the whole spectrum of Spurs, I'm seeing a lot of people saying that, you know, Conte was right. It was the players. It was, yeah. Now, for me, Conte was absolutely right in what he said. I ain't got no problem with realistically what he said because it was true. Like, it don't take a rocket science to say what Conte said because I've been saying it God knows how long. You could go through all my videos, what Conte said, without me saying the exact same words. I've been pretty much the same thing. I know people on other channels that have said the same thing. I know people that don't support Spurs that have said the same thing. So when Conte comes out and says it, everyone's like, oh, what a legend. But it's like, well, it's pretty obvious what's going on. The players ain't good enough. The players are responsible. The club don't want to win anything. And they don't buy quality players. It's like, well, mate, I could have told you that before you came. Like, if Conte rang me before going to Tottenham and said, what do you reckon, Jacob? I would have told him what he said when he left. Then he probably wouldn't have come to the job if he trusted me. So it's not rocket science. For me, when everybody's saying that, it's like, oh, Conte was right. No, you're just being reactionary. Because he was right, but I'm looking at this football. The formation's wrong. The structure's wrong. The way we play football's wrong. When Conte that set that up, correct me if I'm wrong, but the formation we play, Conte. The progressive football, Conte. The lack of creativity in number 10s in our positions, Conte. Like, how many number 10s were available in the summer? James Maddison would have left Leicester straight away. But he was like, no, we don't need him. We'll get Basuma, another defensive midfielder. You know, we're playing Bentancur in there, who realistically is a number 8. We're relying on Harry Kane to be a number 10 and a striker. Like, you know, you put a James Maddison in this side, Harry Kane probably scores another 8 goals, and everyone's talking about who's going to score more, Haaland or James Maddison. But Harry Kane's looking behind him and he's getting fed by Højbjerg. Well, for me, he's doing an absolutely cracking job. I think he's having as good a season as Haaland because personally, I don't think Haaland scores as many goals as Harry Kane playing for Tottenham because he needs them through balls. You got Højbjerg and Skip and all these characters like Perisic. He ain't scoring nothing, mate. He'd be handing his transfer request after 6 months at Spurs. But going back to acknowledgement from Conte, it's like he needs to be accountable for the fact that we played this bad football. But it's not just him. It's been an ongoing thing. You know, Mourinho started it. Nuno continued it. Conte finished it. Dead football. But the way I look at it is this. When people are saying that Conte's right, you know, it's all this stuff, right? What I'm now seeing is because Conte was apparently right. You know, a friend of mine that I play football with, shout out Stevie Dyson, yeah? He come up and said, you know, have a look at the Sky Sports thing yesterday because Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher were going through, you know, XG and, you know, goals scored under Conte and Pochettino, all this. And then I started looking into it a bit more on the way to work and on my commute. And, you know, when I was looking at all the stats, as in expected goals, how many goals we should score, how many goals we've conceded, yeah? I thought to myself, if I looked at that, if I looked at those stats, yeah, so, you know, I've looked at those stats and someone says to me, what type of team do you have? Or which team is this? Do you get what I'm saying? Based off, let's say, last season. So if you looked at that and I'm looking like, you know, 100 odd goals or whatever it is, 100 plus goals, but I'm seeing a lot of goals conceded. It's like an average of like 1.52 goals a game, right? And someone said to me, describe the team. I'd say, this is a team that are on the front foot because they're banging a lot of goals. And it's pretty obvious that they don't really care about what's going on at the back. They take risks. Do you get what I'm saying? So if someone said to me, who's this? I'd look at that and think, based off those stats, take out possession and work rate and all the sprints. Take that out of it. I'm just looking at the goals and what they explained on Sky Sports and stuff. I'd be looking at that thinking, I'd give it a guess and go Leeds. With Bielsa, because they were banging loads of goals, but then they were conceding loads, and that's what ended up losing his job. So if someone said to me, look at that, what do you think you need? You're like, well, they look like they've got a good philosophy. They just probably need better defenders. Or if they've got good defenders, they need to be a bit more cautious, when they're going forward and not just chuck everyone forward, right? But that's Tottenham stats. Tottenham are the complete opposite. Whenever on the front foot, the defenders are just bad. We never press. But then the stats suggest that we're a team that are adventurous. So the analogy that I'm using is this. Now, imagine, I'm taking this from a man's perspective, right? So, it's not a sexist thing or anything like that. I'm just saying it from my perspective. So I'm saying to myself, I'm going out with my good friends, yeah? We're all going out for a drink. We're going to get, a little drink. We're going to go out and party, right? So, like most men do, you link up at the pub. Everyone's like, what's the motive tonight? Are we just going to have a chilled one? Are we going to go and talk to some women, find some women? We after party? What's happening, right? So I'm saying to myself, I walk in the pub now. So I walk in, yeah, what's going on, boys? Who wants a drink? You get the round in, come to the table. What's going on? What are we doing today? Are we going out for girls? Are we going to just listen to some music? What are we doing? Are we going to your flat afterwards for a little drink? So then they say to me, like, Jake, like, you can see that they're having a conversation. So you're like, well, boys, what are you lot talking about? You look like interested. Like, oh, Jake, trust me. If there's anyone that's going to get a girl tonight, it's you. So I'm there going, me. So they're like, Jacob, trust me. This girl, he's got you written all over it. So I'm like, all right, then, where's the picture? What's she look like? Don't worry about that. Is she in here? Don't worry about that. All right, why do you think that she's for me then? Okay, this girl has got, they're saying that she's had 3 partners that look similar to me, the 6 foot plus, athletic, southern, right? And I'm in the Midlands, so they're saying, trust me, Jake, I reckon you'll be right up her street. Okay, cool. What else? These guys, I know them, I play football with them, and they're saying, trust me, this girl is unbelievable in every which way. They're like, what's that? Intimately, in the bedroom, she's got banter, she's just wicked. Top draw woman, like a man's dream. So I'm there going, all right, cool. So you're hyping up this woman. Where is she? Is she definitely coming in here today? You got to show me a picture. But they're like, don't worry about the picture, bro. This girl is for you. Just wait till she comes in here and you'll see. So then there's me thinking, all right, cool. So then I'm speaking to a couple of people like, trust me, Jake, this one's right up your street. So you go to the toilet now, have a little sprout thinking, well, if this is her, man, I'm going to have to approach her quick. No messing around, man, before another guy gets this opportunity, right? 20 minutes later, you hear the guys gassing up. Oh, there she is, Jacob. There she is. You're like, where? So you're looking around and you're not seeing no nice girl. They've described this girl to be, she literally, in my head, I'm seeing Beyonce. This girl is like Beyonce, but then she ticks every box, apparently. So then it gets to the point where you look around and you go, boys, I don't see her, but how can you not see her? Then boom, in amongst the crowd, you see this girl sat in the corner. Now, for me, I don't call people ugly. Right? People are beautiful. You're always beautiful to somebody, but you're probably always ugly to someone as well. So I'm not going to sit there and say I'm beautiful to everybody, because I'm not. There'll be people looking at me that I'm butters, but I don't really care. Right? So I see this girl in the corner. I'm like, boys, I know you're taking a piss. Get that woman over there. No. You lot are winding me up. No, that's her, Jake. Trust me. Go and chat to her. Now, in my eyes, she's a 4 out of 10. Looks wise. So all the guys are saying, yeah, she's this. Now for me, that little story there is the same as Tottenham, because the boys have sat there, they've given me all the stats on this girl. So this girl's this, she does that. So I'm there dreaming, thinking, God, man, this woman must be unreal. And then I see her and she's not. Now, am I going to go and move to that woman if I'm not attracted to her, even though the boys are backing up the stats? The boys are telling me, trust me, statistically, she's the best woman. But I'm looking at her thinking, I don't even want to go and talk to her because she's not attractive. That is Tottenham. Because Tottenham are not attractive. They're not good to watch. So don't throw stats at me. I don't care about the stats. They don't look nice. They haven't got curves. They haven't got nice hair. They're not smiling at me. Tottenham, to me, That woman is great in bed. She's intimate. She'll cook, she'll clean, she'll do all that. But she got 4 teeth missing and she keeps picking her nose. That's Tottenham. I'm not going to go and talk to a girl that don't look nice anyway, but her teeth are missing and she keeps picking boogers out her nose. Not for me, boys. One of you can go and chat to her, but not me. That's how I compare stats in football. I know it's long-winded, but that's what I'm talking about. Don't give me stats. My stats are we playing football? Yes. Did we deserve to win? Yes. Did we get the 3 points? Yes. If we didn't deserve to win, what can we do better to make sure we deserve wins going forward? And if we lost the game, how can we improve? You know, are we a pressing team? Have we got an identity? Have we got a style? Is there a plan? Those are the stats that are important to me, not like XG and all this, you know, percent possession. I don't care about all that. You know, when you're talking about, oh, we've got the most possession, the most created. Leicester won the league on an average of 40%. So you don't talk to me about possession. If you want to talk to me about, you know, I'm hearing people saying Conte had to play this way because of the bad players. Well, okay, was Conte trying to win something? Because, you know, feel free to comment. Name a team, yeah, in history that's won a Premier League, an FA Cup, Champions League, and they've gone the whole way playing football like Tottenham. Because Mourinho and Conte both won the Premier League with Chelsea respectively. Was their football boring? Nah. I remember in Mourinho's football, they had Lampard coming in from midfield. They had Robben, Duff, Drogba smacking things. You know what I mean? They had Ashley Cole bombing down the left. They were a good team to watch, man. Same with Conte. They had Fabregas, you know, Diego Costa banging goals, Eden Hazard. So they know themselves that you can't play this way of football, but they've had to do that to this team because it's that bad. They've had to put 5 dead defenders at the back. It's that bad. So I get that our teams are bad, but then don't start sticking up for Conte because he's the one that made the football this bad. He's got to the point where he's not a coach that's going to improve players, but at the same time, he's been given a setup of players that are terrible. So the whole thing is ugly. Tottenham are a club like that woman that got 4 teeth missing, picking her nose, farting, scratching her bum every time you're chatting. That's Tottenham. But there's bare girls in this club. So the club is the Premier League. There's about 8 girls. Brighton ain't winning nothing, but that's the girl I'm talking about. But it's like, why can't Tottenham do this? Because you don't need to spend loads of money. Fulham are looking good. Brighton are looking good. Leicester won a league looking good. You know, Liverpool haven't spent loads of money in terms of the owners having to pump loads in. Arsenal, you know, look at Arsenal, they're top of the league. Did they spend bare money? You know, people talking about these Ramsdales, Ben Whites. So, rubbish. But no, they're doing all right. You know, everybody looked at our squad and looked at Arsenal's squad. And even Arsenal fans I know were like, yeah, you know, Tottenham are going to do bits this season. Tottenham probably finish above us. Why didn't we? Because of the coach. The coaching methods are terrible. So the coach has to take ownership of that. Because there's dead players. Granted, Tottenham are a dead club. But you signed the contract, mate. No one forced you. No one had a knife to your throat and said, join Tottenham. You joined Tottenham knowing that this would happen. And if you didn't, you're even more stupid than I think. So for me, it's like, you know, people coming out and saying that Conte actually did all right. I'm not having that. Conte didn't do all right and the players didn't do all right. But you can't just sit there and tell me that Conte's right and he doesn't take no ownership. That's just, you lot are dizzy. Everybody takes ownership. You know, when you look, like I always allude to, you look at a club like, let me think, Liverpool, right? Liverpool, when they went through a spell where they were just, they were getting some managers and you're thinking, what's going on here? Liverpool was supposed to be a big club, weren't they? You know, they had Roy Hodgson. Kenny Dalglish wasn't doing too great. They had, all these pretenders to the throne, trying to take Liverpool to where they're supposed to be. And then they're bringing in Paul Konchesky, Andy Carroll. No, there was no plan, no philosophy, there's always been togetherness at Liverpool, but it's like there was always something missing, right? Klopp came in and brought that all together. So there needs to, if Klopp, Klopp and Liverpool won everything. So if they won everything, what we can't just say that was just Klopp, because Klopp had to get the players together, the players united along with the coach and the owners. A united club without the fans. But then the fans who are already united are going to unite even more. So it became like a family thing. You know, when Liverpool go in Champions League finals, when they're on title runs, it was, you know, I'll be honest, it was something special because they're needing it for so long. But then that's how you do it. So Liverpool haven't spent, you know, I'd like to think that Tottenham have probably spent more money than Liverpool for money. So about the same. You know, not far off anyway. You know, there isn't a gulf in in the finances that's been spent. The difference is Liverpool brought in Klopp. Klopp would have told them, this is what I want to do. And, you know, you saw what he did at Dortmund. He even did it at Mainz. So he said, look, you give me this, I will bring this ship together. And look what happened. But then Conte comes in. He might have had the same sort of philosophy. But then Daniel Levy's like, yeah, have a Jed Spence. We blatantly haven't got a team that plays a back five. But they're not comfortable with it. It's so obvious. But then you're so stubborn with it. You play Ben Davies in centre-half, who did have some good games, but he's not centre-half. You're putting Perisic in there. It's all disjointed. So for me, everybody has to take credibility. That's what I'm trying to get at. So, you know, if you're a Spurs fan listening to this, you need to understand that one game doesn't define that Conte was right. Because if we played well yesterday and Everton and we beat Everton, what, is Conte wrong then? One game doesn't define his comments. It has to be over a gradual thing. Yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to say, man. It's just Tottenham are so bad. Like it's got to the point, yeah, where I'm being honest here. I don't know who we've got next week. Like, I have to go on my phone now. Normally, I would know we've got Everton, then we've got this person. Off the top of my head, I know it feels like we've got Leeds or someone. But I'm not even doing this for the sake of a video, because it's not like I'm doing it to get thousands of views. I'm being serious. I don't know who we got at the weekend because I'm just not interested. You know, I've seen a comment of someone saying that they've put their support for Tottenham on hold. And people were cussing that person out. But I kind of looked at him and thought, yeah, that makes sense, man. I kind of feel like I've put it on hold without setting my stall out. Like, if Daniel Levy's going to be taking the piss, if we're going to have this merry-go-round of players that ain't good enough, you know, every 5 years it's like our main player, it's like the be-all and end-all. If he goes, we're going to be relegation fodder, and if he stays, we're going to do stuff. You know, we had it with Harry Kane. Before Harry Kane, it was Gareth Bale. Before Gareth Bale, it was Modric. Before Modric, it was Berbatov. Before Berbatov, you know, you had people like Teddy Sheringham. We just keep doing this, but people say that we're a big club. We're not a big club because you look at what Ten Hag did with United. They're not playing well at the minute, but Ronaldo was surplus to requirements, and look what they did. So if you know, Man United can just go, yeah, boom. But Tottenham, on the other hand, if Harry Kane loses, it's like someone's died. Like, this is why I say we're not a big club. We're not an elite club, and if we are going to be an elite club, it takes a good sort of 20 years time. So it's one of the ones in my lifetime I don't think we'll be an elite club. Maybe in my son's. But that's pretty much it, really. Before you go, make sure you like, share and subscribe. You know, the subscribe button's at the end of this video. If you're already subscribed, hit the notification button so you see exactly what comes of this. Comment, like, do whatever, you know, whether you hate what I say or like what I say, you know, comments are great because then at least I know whether I'm waffling or not. I'm about to go and jump on another video, which is a guy called Tommy on Tommy Hotspur Hood, a show that I'm on every Tuesday. We always have a good laugh. It gets quite a few views as well. So, you know, if you get the opportunity and watch this video, have a look at that, whether it's today or a day later. And again, on Friday, I'm on Time Added On with a guy called Alan Clark and a group of boys that I've been with from day one that pretty much helped me get confidence to put this platform out. So, yeah, just watch out, see how it goes. I'm not even going to say come on you Spurs because it's just rubbish. So have a nice Tuesday.